once again. This is a Falling Down on the Random interview with Binx.
Hi.
And we're here to talk about her career, her fashion sense, and her music. And we're also here to promote the Binx LP. So
African Bee.
African Bee. So let's get started.
Hi.
Binx,
How are you?
How are you?
Good to see
So
you.
I have been a fan of Binx since last year, and I've gone to her many shows. Every show is an experience. So how long does it take for you to set up a show, like say Rockwood or any place you're gonna be performing?
It depends. So depending on the type of show I'm doing, if I'm doing an event, it's generally 1 to 3 songs. So it's not much involved with that show. It's just usually just me singing with track. And but if I'm going to put on a show at a full-on show, like 45-minute set at like Rockwood or pianos or Webster Hall, you know, a lot of effort goes into those shows. So I mean, it becomes my baby. Like every day I'm thinking of costumes, I'm thinking of choreography, thinking of lyrics, thinking of songs. And because my shows are very involved, you've seen them, and I like to create a spectacle. I like to create something that the viewer hasn't seen before. You know, I think it's great that people can just get up to a mic, sing, but for me, I'm very visual, so I like to give the element of surprise, and so that's where my costume changes come in, and I like to have dances where it's really high energy show, and there's a band, so there's like a live feel, and yeah, so those type of shows, they sort of consume me, but it's fun and it's like everything I love to do, so
Nice.
yeah.
And one of the things that I've noticed about your shows and about yourself also is that you're very fashion driven.
Yes.
And my question has always been: is the bikini custom, or did you or did you find it somewhere, or?
Did I find this somewhere?
Yeah.
No, this is custom. So everything I do is generally custom.
Okay.
The bee outfit has evolved definitely. I mean, the first one I had was when I was 16, and this one was designed by me and created by my designer. And yeah, it's going to keep evolving. And this one, when we're done with the African Bee, I'll get a new one. And yeah, definitely custom made because I'm very into fashion, very into
I can tell.
style.
And do you still model, or
No,
or was that something that you've done before?
So modeling I did do a while in South Africa. I always wanted to be like a singer, actress, and a model, and I still get to do different aspects of that. So like when I'm on stage, I get to act, I get to be a character, I get to be the African Bee, and with modeling, I get to do shoots. I get to do, I'm not as involved with modeling as I would like to be, but music is my priority right now, and once I'm at a place where I'm happy with my music, I can always venture back into modeling.
And so talking about music, do you? Because I know you play guitar also.
Yeah.
And so do you? How do you start it off? Do you write the lyrics, or do you write the melody of the songs?
Well, each song is different, so generally it's always the melody first for me, because I get a tune in my head where I'm like, I can't get it out of my head, and I want to elaborate on that melody. And then with me, like, I'll have lyrics come with it, because the melody and the lyrics sort of come together, but I'll just sort of say what's on my head, and it won't necessarily make any sense, and it won't be what I want to actually talk about in the song. But once I've got the feel for the song, where I'm like, like I'm feeling like I'm so in love with this person, or I'm feeling really sad about something that happened, I'll get the melody out, I'll get the structure out, and then I'll sit and really try to write it poetically as possible, because I'm very, very serious about my lyrics. And with pop music, and all the pop musicians are very into focusing so much on lyrics. They're very, focused on melody and catchy tunes, which I do love because this is my genre, but I want to always create a story so that there's more to it. So if you strip the music away from the song, if you read my lyrics, you'll see a whole load of hidden meanings and symbolism, and and all that.
This is one of the reasons why I respect you a lot as a performer because I know your music influences like Rolling Stone and especially Radiohead.
Yeah.
What other genres of music do you listen to?
Other genres. Well, I love basically all genres. I'd say my top genres though that I really am inspired by are pop, rock, dance, a lot of country actually. I was very inspired by country music. A lot of R&B, a lot of hip hop. I wouldn't say I'm very heavy metal or house music driven. Maybe at some stage I'll get more into that, but for now those are probably, I take different things from I think those different genres.
That's good. I like to hear that. I love somebody that's open-minded to all genres and than just to one specific
Oh sure.
thing.
Yeah.
So talk to me about how did the bee originated? Where did the bee come from?
The bee came from, so when I was 10 I started a band and I wanted the bee to be my logo because, you know, I was very aware that the Rolling Stones had like this logo that everyone was wearing. It was on a shirt or it was on a hat. And I was like, well, everyone knows that this is that band, you know, and I thought how cool is it to like have something where you're not listening to a certain band but they're being worn on the street and they're being thought about, you know, in an everyday situation. So I was like, I need to have my own logo, so I came up with the bee just because I was 10 and my first letter of my name started with a B. And then as I got older, when I turned 16, you know, I was like, I need to start differentiating myself, and that was when I started discovering Ziggy Stardust and David Bowie and how he created this character on stage. And it really set him apart because I just thought it was just a very creative outlet, and I felt like I needed that as well. And so I sewed my own bee outfit for the first time when I was 16 on New Year's Eve. And then when I moved to America, I was like, well, now I'm going to be at the creme de la creme of all these top musicians, these talented people. How am I going to set myself apart from being a really good vocalist, a really good lyricist or songwriter? I wanted to make sure that people were sitting up and listening. So what I did was I started to wear this bee outfit everywhere I went so that I was recognized as like the Rolling Stones logo. So when I went to open mics, I would be dressing the same, and then people started to recognize me and be like, were you the bee that was singing at this other show?
That's good.
Yeah, and it was great because it was good conversation with people who've seen me before and who took more notice the next time they saw me because they remembered me, and then it's become and evolved to the African bee because audiences would be like, oh, are you that South African bee? And so like that's where the name came from. It actually came from fans and audiences, and then I wanted to release this album as an introduction as a South African musician pursuing pop music in New York.
Nice. So talking about the album, talk to me about the process of the LP. How did you put the songs together, and how long did the process to making the LP?
Like the recording and the writing?
Right.
I mean, I guess it's difficult to say because Radiohead I actually wrote when I was about 16.
Okay.
So I mean, you know, I'm in my 20s now, and but all the rest of the songs were all recent that I wrote when I was these were all written when I moved to America, so within 4 years. But the production of the songs, I mean, it took us a couple months to just get everything ready. It actually went really fast. I mean, I got the idea, I think, sort of around summer last year to put out this little EP, and yeah, we just went straight into the studio and got it all recorded and got everything where it needed to be.
And one of the songs is Headlights, and you're about to drop the video.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
I'm so excited. So this is the best thing that I've created since I started with music. It was an 18-hour shoot. It's obviously the favorite on the album. Everybody loves Headlights. Mm-hmm. It's the #1 track, I'd say. And yes, I wanted to have a visual for something that really, really hard happened to me last year. And it was the most difficult thing that someone can go through. And I wanted to create this visual for this song because the song is so special to me. I wanted to create this beautiful video that I could have forever, that my family could have forever, and so this is what it became. And we did this shoot, like I said, in 18 hours in the most freezing temperatures. I was in water. I felt like I had frostbite and pneumonia at the end of the shoot.
God.
It was awful, and I didn't like eat or drink or sleep for that whole time. But I had a whole load of friends there helping me. Beth was one of the friends that was helping. She's actually my body double. I do a scene with my legs coming up the car, and Beth is my little double for that. So she features in the video too. And yeah, and it was a lot of fun because, you know, this is where I shine, like where I can just like perform for a camera and put a visual together that I saw in my head. So the Headlights video is based off of a dream that I had last year.
Wow. And when are you planning to drop the video?
So we have plans for the end of April.
Okay.
Nothing is confirmed yet, but we're looking towards the end of April, so 2 weeks.
Nice. And so last thing, so in the words of Metric, do you prefer to be a Beatle or a Rolling Stone?
Oh, for sure the Rolling Stone. Oh my goodness, that question's not even... But I mean, the Beatles are right up there too. So.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, so thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.